Okay. Okay, next we want to discuss about the so this is conceptual dependency representation of John throws the ball. Okay, John throws the ball. So here, who is the picture producer? PP is John. This is John, and he throws the ball. Okay, he throws. So propolis is the act, primitive act, and the ball is the object. Okay, ball is the object in this sentence. Then we will represent the act in this part. Then PP act, which is connected by using double arrow mark. We will represent the sentence in this way. This is basically a rule. Okay, we will represent in this way. PP comes in this side and act in this side. In this way, we will represent various sentences. So there are 14 rules. 1, 2, and so on. Up to 14 rules are there. So you need to study all these rules. Then only you can write the conceptual dependency. Okay. So first case is John ran. Okay, John ran. So who is the picture producer in it? John is the picture producer, and he ran. Ran means he is moving from one location to another. Okay, John ran. Okay, so the act is P trans, and it is a past tense sentence. So we represent here P. Okay, so and this is the picture producer John. This is the action, and it is a past tense sentence, so it is represented. The binary relation, this bidirectional relation is marked with the P. Similarly, suppose we want to represent John is tall. If the sentence is like this, tall is basically a quantifiable term. In that case, we will represent in this way. John is tall, so John is the picture producer. Then there is a arrow mark, double arrow mark, and there is a horizontal line in that. Okay, there is a horizontal line also. Just to note this notations. Okay, this is a rule basically, so you should study that rule. Okay, so John in this way, and height. Okay, here represented in this way, height in brackets greater than average. Next, John is a doctor. Okay, John is a doctor. Or Anusri is a student, Ashwati is a student. If the sentence is like that, so basically John is the picture producer. Okay, and you can note this PP. This is PP, and what is this? This is PA. What is PA? PA means picture aider. Picture aider. Basically, doctor is the property of John. Doctor is the property of John. So, it is a picture aider, PA. Doctor is a PA. Okay. So, we will use the third rule. If the sentence is like this, then we will represent in this way. PP, PA. PP is here, and Doctor PA is here. Next is another sentence is a nice boy. Okay, a nice boy. Okay, a nice boy. Then similarly here PP is the boy, a boy, and PA is the picture aider. That is nice. Okay, nice. So it is basically property of boy. It is a nice boy. So nice here. This is the fourth rule. If the sentence is like this, then I must want to use this rule. Okay. Similarly, John's dog. Okay, John's dog, or my pen, in this way. Okay, if the sentence is like this, we want to use this format, PP, PP. So here, John is the picture producer, PP, and this is a dog. Dog is another PP. Both are picture producers, and John pose by, a relation pose by is used here. A relation pose by is used here. Pose by relation is used here. That is possessed by or owned by, like that. Pose by relation is used. Pose by. So okay. Okay, this is posed by relation is used here. So this John's dog, or Anusri's dog, Ashwati's dog. In that way, you can think some sentence and try to represent in this way. Okay. Next is John pushed the cart. Okay, this is another type of sentence. John pushed the cart. Okay, John pushed the cart. So in this, who is the picture producer? Who is the picture producer? John pushed the cart. Who is the picture producer? John is the picture producer. First, you should note that if the sentence is like this, then we will represent in this way. So you can check it. Then John pushed the cart. Okay, John pushed the cart. So who is the? Okay, take this part. Okay, so here cart is an object. Cart is an object which is pushed. So the act is pushed here. Which action is performing? Action is pushed. So instead of pushed, we will use propel. What is propel? What is meant by propel? So what is propel means? This is propel. Application of physical force to an object. Okay. So we will use propel instead of push in conceptual dependency. Propel means application of physical force to an object. So first we will represent the action in this way. Okay. The cart is pushed. Who is pushed? John pushed. So John is the picture producer. Okay. So we represent the sentence in this way. So this part is pushed the cart. So this rule is applied. And then this side we will use picture producer, John, and we will combine it using the double arrow mark. That is, we apply which rule? We apply this rule. The rule 1 is applied. Okay. Note this. rule 1 is actually applied, PP double arrow mark act. So here PP is John. Okay. Then what is the act? Act this side. But for representing the act, we will use this rule. Because we want to represent pushed the cart. So an object is there and an action is there. So in such a situation, we will use this. We will use this rule. Okay. Then this is the pushed the cart conceptual dependency. We will attach it to the picture producer PP. Then this is a which type of sentence? It is a past tense. It is pushed already. Okay. So we will use here P. We will use here P. So next is John took the book from Mary. John took the book from Mary. John took the book from Mary. Okay. John took the book from Mary. Next. Okay. John took the book from Mary. So to represent this type of sentence, that is, there is an action took. There is a there is a beneficiary and there is a giver. Okay. Okay. Took the book from Mary. The took is the action and there is a beneficiary and a giver and an object also is there. So if the sentence is like this, okay, you should study this rule. That is, if the sentence is like this, for example, Vishnu took the book from Fajar. Okay. Vishnu took the book from Fajar. Suppose this is the sentence. Then first thing, who is the picture producer in it? Vishnu. Okay. I'm not using John. Instead, I am saying Vishnu took the book from Mary. Sorry. Vishnu took the book from Fajar. Okay. So who is the picture producer in this? Instead of John, I will use Vishnu. So picture producer part is okay. Next part is the action part. Okay. Basically, we want to, there is an action and there is a picture producer. So PP is okay. Now we want to represent the action part. So if you look the action part, the action part contains an action took. Okay. Action part contains an action took, and so which we will use this rule. Okay. So the action part contains an action act, then an object is there. An object also is there. Then there is a giver and there is a beneficiary. Okay. So then what we will do? We will represent in this way. So I told Vishnu took the book from Mary. So who given? Vishnu took the book from Fajar. Okay. So who given? Fajar given. So I will represent Fajar here. Okay. This arrow, there is an arrow mark. Then there is a arrow mark coming to, this is Vishnu. Okay. This is Vishnu and this is Fajar. Then it is represented in this way and there is an object also is there. Okay. Because he taken an object or he taken an object. So is there. This is general rule. PP, PP, O should be there and this should be the act. What is the act? Act is a trans. Why used a trans? what is A trans means? What is A trans here? This rule, this primitive transfer of an abstract relationship, give, take, etc. Okay, in that case we will use A trans act. So so this is A trans, and to this we will attach the object. Okay, this is the book object. So we will add the object here. Okay, object name here. Okay, so this is the 7th rule. Basically, this is a rule. You should first concentrate on this. For example, I told Vishnu took the book from Fajar. If the sentence is like this, then you should first understand who is the PP. If there is no Vishnu, there will be no action. So I represent Vishnu as the PP. Then in this side, I want to represent the action. This action. So this action always take this route. This is the rule we want to apply. Then in this, I represent here Fajar because Fajar is the giver. And also this is Vishnu. Why Vishnu? Because he is the beneficiary. So Vishnu. Then there is an objective O, and this is the action A trans, and which object is given, that is represented here, book. Okay. Similarly, that is about 7th rule. This is a very important rule. Okay. Next, John ate ice cream with a spoon. Okay. Next sentence is John ate ice cream with a spoon. Okay, we want to represent this sentence. So how it is possible? So this is the sentence. John ate ice cream with a spoon. Okay. So in this case, we will represent in this way. So there is a action 8. Okay. So the action is ingest. Action part, this is ingest. Then ice cream is the object used. Okay, ice cream is the object we used. He eaten, or he ate. Then next, in addition, I want to represent with a spoon. Okay, that is, the action is done by using an instrument I. Okay, note that, for example, Fajar written with a pencil. Okay, there is an instrument involved in it. So in this case, John ate ice cream with a spoon. So ingest is related to the ice cream. Then in addition, there is an instrument I is involved in it. There is an instrument I. Okay, this is capital letter I. Capital letter I. And in this side, you can note here, there is an I is here. And here we will represent this. There is a do, then this is an object spoon, do, John. In this way, we will represent this type of sentence. Okay. So this is another rule, 8th rule. Okay. So if the sentence contain an action that is done by using an instrument, okay, then we will use the 8th rule. We need to apply the 8th rule. For example, John or anything. try to understand that concept. That is, if the sentence contains an action which is performed by using an instrument name also given in that case we need to apply the eighth rule. So that is about the eighth rule. So you can note here 8 indicates instrumental conceptualization of an object, of an action. Instrumental conceptualization of an action. That is the that is 8 rule saying. Okay, in that case we will represent in this way. Act, there is an arrow mark, and above that I, then there is a double arrow mark. So 8th rule is also very important. 7th rule is recipient and donor with an action. 7th is recipient and donor with an action. So this is another rule, 8th rule. Okay, and 7th rule. 7 and 8 are very important rules. Then next is John fertilized the field. Okay. Next rule is John fertilized the field. So this is the sentence. So John fertilized the field. This is the sentence you want to represent. In that case, what we will do? So we want to represent this one. This case we are considering now, and this is the sentence we want to represent. John fertilized the field. So in that case, we will represent the action part in this way. First, we can check who is the picture producer. John. This is okay. Then this is the action part. We want to represent the action part. So if the sentence is like this, okay, for example, you can check what is 9. Can note here direction of an object with an action. In this is the sentence type, direction of an object with an action. Then we need to apply the 9th rule. This is the rule we want to apply. So in this case, what we will do, we use P trans and fertilizer is used as the object. Fertilizer is an object and we use the action as P trans. Then basically fertilizer is the object used. John placed the fertilizer from the bag to the field. John placed the fertilizer from bag to the field. Then this is the concept involved in it. John fertilized the field. I represented it in this way. So in this case, P trans is the action, fertilized. Instead of fertilized, I will use P trans. Then fertilizer is the object used for fertilizing. Then here I will represent this in this way. From the bag, John taken the fertilizer and it put it on the field. In the field. So I want to represent in this way. So this is 9th rule. Similarly, another is 10th and 11th. For up to 14 rules are there. So next is the plant grew. The plant grew. Plant is an object or picture producer, and it is grew. Okay, this is the sentence. If the sentence is like this, then who is the picture producer? PP. then we need to apply this rule PP, PA, PP. Okay, so here plants is the picture producer, and we want to represent in this way. Grew is the one concept. So we should assume that the plant grew from one size to another size. So we should represent in this way. Size equal to x, size greater than x. Then that means the concept grew. Grew is represented in this way, in this case. In this case, grew is represented in this way. Our growth is represented in this way. Initial size equal to x, then it is final size is greater than x. That is the way of representing grew or growth. This is another rule. Okay. So try to understand that concept. Okay. Next, 11th, 12th is there. So I'm going to the 12th rule. Okay. For example, John ran yesterday. It is very simple case. It is somewhat, this one is somewhat confusing. 10th rule. And one more time repeating. In 10th rule, we want to represent this plant grew, and grew is the one concept. To represent grew or growth, what we will represent in this way. We will represent in this way. That is, plant size initially equal to x, and its size now greater than x. That is the representation of grew. Okay, try to understand that concept. Then we are going to the 12th rule. This is very simple case. John ran yesterday. Okay, so the John is the picture producer. P trans is the act. P is past tense. In addition, I attached the time. Okay, yesterday. Okay. I can attach time in this way. Okay. For example, John ran at 5 o'clock. Then instead of yesterday, I can represent 5 o'clock. So if the subject involves a time, then I want to apply rule 12. Next, next concept is, concentrate on 13. What is 13 means is that you can check the sentence. This is the sentence. While going home, I saw a frog. While going home, I saw a frog. Okay. This is the sentence. You can note here, there are two sentences in this. One is while going home. Second is I saw a frog. So I want to combine the two sentences. Okay. Try to understand that. First is while going home. Next is I saw a frog. I saw a frog. Okay. Second sentence is I saw a frog. So if a sentence contains more than one simple sentence like this, we need to apply rule 13. Okay, I saw a frog. So there are two sentences here. In that case, what we will do? First, I will represent in this way. First, I will take first sentence. While going home. Okay. So this is represented in this way. Then another is I saw a frog. So this is another sentence. How I combine these two sentences? This arrow mark is used. So in order to combine the two sentences, I'm using this concept, combine. Okay, I want to combine two sentences. So first, I want to produce a conceptual dependency corresponding to a sentence. Then I want to create a conceptual dependency corresponding to another sentence. Then I will combine both using this arrow mark. So this is the first case. While going to home. Okay. So how can represent this? Going to home. Who is going to home? I. Okay, you can note here. P trans is the action. P trans is the action, and I, you can this you can note, and this is the I. Okay, this is I. Where I am going? I to home. Then here D, direction is used. Here direction D is used. Basically, we are applying this rule, ninth rule. We are applying ninth rule here. Okay, this is the rule we are applying here. This rule, ninth rule we are applying here. Then attaching it to the P trans. Then it will constitute this sentence. Then next is I saw a frog. I saw a frog. So this is concept is represented this in this way. I saw a frog. So ice is ice. Ice is the one object. Through ice, I saw a frog, and I stored the image of frog in my brain. In my brain, then in here CP is represented using to represent. Actually, it means brain. Okay, that is through eyes I am seeing the frog, and the image of that frog is stored where in my brain. Each CP is actually used to represent brain. Then you can note here, brain is actually CP here. CP. And this is R. R we are using. Okay. R. Then the object is frog. The action is M trans. M trans. So basically we will this is another sentence. I will combine it using an arrow mark. This is the 13th rule. 13th rule. So so note this sentence. While I am going to, so I saw a frog. So there are two sentences. In that case, to combine, I will use this. I will first form one sentence, second another sentence, then I will combine using this arrow mark. Okay. Here, while going to home is represented in this way. While going to home is represented in this way. Then I saw a frog is represented in this way. The concept I saw a frog is represented in this way. Then I will combine using this. That is rule 13. Then we can go to the rule 11. Rule 11. This is rule 11. So what is rule 11 saying? 11 or we can, okay, we can take the last rule, 14th rule we can take now, 14th. So what is 14th I heard a frog in the woods. So this is also represented in this way. Through years, I am hearing, and I am storing it in brain. Then the sound of frog is hearing. Okay. Then this is the action involves M-trans. M-trans means, what is M-trans? What is M-trans? M-trans means P-trans, then M-trans. Transfer of mental information on M-trans. So M-trans is used here. M-trans is used here. So this is all about the action. Then in the woods, I want to represent in the woods. Okay. So that concept is represented in this way. Woods is the picture producer. Then I will combine it in this way. Okay. So one more rule is there anyway. One more rule is there. We can discuss that in the next class. Okay. Attendance chat box. Please give attendance in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Hello. Masna. അത് പ്രശ്നമില്ല, അത് ചെയ്തോ, അത് പ്രശ്നമൊന്നുമില്ല മിസ്ന. ബ്ലാക്ക്. ഓക്കെ ശരി.